There are different strategies of rounding and estimation. One of them is rounding, and then we actually got rounding up, rounding down, and within the middle, which is always used a bit fairer, we will use rounding off. We tend to use rounding off a bit more, but then I will go through rounding up and rounding down with you as well. So let's stick with the 100. So if we're rounding a big number, let me think of a big number. 3, 4, 7, 5, 2. All right, this is a big number. Again, we have the decimal place, we have the place value, unit, tens, and so first of all, we'll do rounding up to the tens, or they will say rounding to tens, like this. Depends on how we write it. So either like this or like this. All right, so if we want to tens, so we pointing. We need to know that a tens is here. So we're pointing at this one, the 5, and then look at the 2. So if rounding up, we don't care, we're just adding up to it, set 1 to the next bit. This is rounding up. Rounding down, is we're still pointing at a 5, but we don't care about what it is. We just ignore them. However, if I just leave it like this, it will be so much smaller. So we have to put a placeholder on it. So we put 0 on it to hold that like, oh, there is a digit, but I don't care about what value it is. And coming up will be what we usually use. So let me copy the number again. So 3, 4, 7, 5, 2. Rounding off, we need a bit of thinking here. So we're still pointing at the tens, which is what we want here, and then we think and look at the 2. I got eye with eyelashes. All right, we're looking at the 2. If this digit is bigger or equals to 5, then we add 1 to the next, add 1 to the tens. If it's smaller than 5, that is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, we will just ignore it. So let's see. So 2 is smaller than 5, so our rounding off will be 0. Let's have another example. So this time I have 4, 7, 2, 3, 8. Rounding to the tens. So we're pointing at the 3, and then we look at the unit one, the one next to it. Now 8 is bigger than 5. Therefore, we add 1 to it. So 3 add 1 is 4. So we have 4, 7, 2, 4. But then we put a place value here. Let's do rounding to the hundreds. So let me think of another big numbers. Big numbers. 4, 7, 3, 8. This time we're rounding off to the hundreds. If you're not sure which value, which place, which digit is the hundreds, you will want to go through the place value video again. So we look for the hundreds. So unit, 10, hundreds. So we're pointing at the 7, looking at the 2. 2 is smaller than 5, so we do not need to add it. So what we need to do is just put 0, the place value on it. Make sure you put the place value of it next to it. Otherwise, the number become very small. It's totally different. It's not a rounding. It's like changing the value, which is wrong. So 4,700. This is the rounding off to the 100.